Alright, I am reaching out to two different people on here.
If we can figure out this Zenith radio. According to your video, it's an M505 model number. Looking that up on the Radio Museum website gives us this schematic for a chassis number 5L41. Weirdly, that also lines up the exact same with this same one for a L505. So we have to take this schematic with a grain of salt, but we can at least use this chassis number to get a little bit more of an idea of what this might look like inside. Externally, the L505 and the M505 are just different colors, but I don't actually know if the internals are any different. Going back to the Radio Museum, on the L505, under that same chassis, we can find this here, which is a part list, which does technically list all of these caps with their values and their voltage. Not the best parts list I've ever seen. As you can see right here, that the ratings are in microfarad for the electrolytic and paper, however, it doesn't actually say which ones are which, and it's in micro, or picofarad for mica and ceramic. I don't actually know if it's micro, but we're going to go with that. It is picofarad. Now, these ones with extremely high ratings that have no voltage are most likely either your ceramics or your micas. Ultimately, they don't need replaced unless they are physically bad. They're not bad. The ones we really need to worry about are the electrolytic and the paper capacitors. Those are most likely those ones with actual voltage ratings. So you could technically go through here and figure out, well, which ratings you need, but it doesn't tell you what caps they are. They do give you a bunch of different part numbers, and you could technically go searching through a bunch of old magazines and books to try and figure out what these are, but that's going to be a lot more difficult than just opening up the radio and looking at these caps. Here is a Philco radio out of a 1955 Studebaker that I just finished rewinding a couple, possibly 100 feet of coil to rebuild the one coil. That was a real pain. But if we take a look inside here, we can see a bunch of wax capacitors. They come in all different shapes and sizes. That's a wax. That's also a wax. And that resistor-looking thing is also a wax capacitor. All those have to be replaced. As you can see, they usually have a rating on them. You can see 0.01 microfarad, and if we rotate that a little bit, it looks like at 400 volts. That is sticky for some reason. Now, there's a good chance you might have to scrape through a few layers of wax to actually be able to read the ratings, which is rather annoying, and for plastic ones like this, you actually have to look up the color codes. AntiqueRadio.org actually has a great page on how to actually replace these, the different types of capacitors, and what you should replace them with, and how to understand what the different ratings mean. I just go on Amazon and get a pack of either polyester or polypropylene film capacitors. A kit like this will give you most of the sizes that you will generally need, and probably all the ones that you will need. Now, you will need to get some electrolytics most likely, because some of those caps will be electrolytic. In summary, basically, just go to this website. It'll pretty much guide you through everything you need to know.